A naked ghost? An actual spirit named the Watcher? Did I lose my ball? Grab a snack and help us unpack all that and more. It's time for Ghost Files Debrief. Thank you for joining us. I'm Ryan Bergara, and that thing over there is my colleague Shane Madej.
Yeah, hi, it's me, Shane. Each week we look back at our most compelling evidence, behind-the-scenes moments, and we answer your burning questions. All right, well, let's get into our debrief of the Blair Street Underground Vaults.
That's right. Right off the bat, here's a sneak peek of this episode's Road Files.
And then finally, the influx of new people, some new vibes, some new faces. I don't have to talk to Ryan and Lizzie anymore. I can go hang out with Carter over there. You got Violet over there. Sam's walking in. She's like, oh, it's just like Lord of the Rings, you know.
I flew out of my seat and Ben grabbed me and pulled me back into the boat. And she tells this story sincerely to people all the time.
The first time I felt like we were really here in Edinburgh was when we walked outside and we saw a dude playing the bagpipe outside of a church.
Yes, we're fine. This is our arrival here. We're here.
It looks like a movie set. Like, I've never seen this in my life. And they're playing those bagpipes night and day, like all day long. Like, such a magical place.
Edinburgh is just a gorgeous town. We had a lot of fun there. I ate a lot of haggis.
That's right. We had some Scottish tablet.
You ran up to the top of Arthur's seat?
I did do that in jeans.
The memories I have from there, I'll cherish forever.
Anyways, if you've seen the episode, you know that we caught some compelling pieces of evidence. Let's unpack a little more of what we captured. Now, to start, let's chat a little bit more about Jack's ball.
Now, to anyone who was concerned about, I don't know if there's any valid concerns about the ball being lost in the room. The people on staff were like, don't worry about it.
I bounced it pretty hard, and then the ball...
That's the thing, it's a Super Ball, man. Why are you bouncing that so hard?
You told me to bounce it hard.
I don't think I said that. Let's watch the evidence.
A little red ball. Aww. Would you like to play with it? I guess I'll just bounce it. Could you roll this back to me?
Is it a Super Bowl?
I'm gonna bounce this like crazy,
Bounce
Jack.
it as hard as you can.
And then we'll see if you could bounce it too.
Yeah,
back
bounce it
to
real
us.
hard, real hard. Oh, Jesus. Where did it go? Where did it go?
Okay, well, I mean, you sort of led the witness there by saying, I'm gonna bounce this like crazy.
And you said bounce it as hard as you can, so.
Yeah, I guess I did technically say that.
Yeah, technically, you did say that.
Okay, you got me on a technicality.
All right. Anyways, I did bounce it pretty hard. To be fair,
Disappeared.
It was red.
It seems like it disappeared before it even hit the ground.
I thought for sure we would just, we'd bounce it, we'd find it on the ground somewhere, but this thing just like disappeared. The whole crew, all the staff, we looked for this ball, couldn't find it.
Gone.
And
there were like little crevices in the room, but we looked so thoroughly.
So make of that what you will.
Is this a thing though that ghosts can do? Can they make stuff disappear?
They could swallow the ball and then
Can a ghost swallow a ball?
And then it just goes into like their green screen body and you can't see.
Right.
You can't see the
Is that
ball
how that
anymore.
works?
I don't know. Maybe he just took it and ran away to hell. It's worth mentioning.
Yeah, it was freaky.
Now let's talk about, during your solo, there were people coming in on your mic. Our sound guy, Ben, had actually mentioned it sounds like there's people talking down there.
Wow.
And you could actually hear it on your mic as well. Let's go to that.
Peter, where have you gone?
I just heard people talking the whole time. I don't know if it was Shane or if it was...
That's weird. Huh. Peter, I'm gonna turn on the obelisk.
I wanted to bring this up because this place does butt up with other...
There was commotion.
There was some commotion coming. I do think that these voices are probably something from a neighboring business. I think that's fair to say. I just wanted to point that out.
Though it's also, I don't know, it is a town where people are up late, and I don't remember which day of the week it was, but this was pretty late into the evening,
Yeah.
There's a chance it could be that.
Yeah, I think another thing to point out here, because it's not very clear in the episode, is we are underground, but we're not like that crazy underground.
No, it's basically like one story underground. Maybe a story and a half?
Maybe story and a half.
Yeah. The back of the vaults sounded like they shared some sort of almost like alleyway, and those vaults do extend like farther into the city quite vastly.
So yeah, there are neighboring businesses around. I would chalk that up to this because it doesn't sound like the voice is coming from the room you're in. It sounds like it's coming from a wall beyond. So just, hey, I'm doing your work for you.
He reaches across the aisle every now and then.
That's right. Moving on. We also heard footsteps a couple of times in this investigation, with the loudest being during Shane's solo, so let's go ahead and go to that.
Not look at it to see where I'm going. Some knocking noises over there. Oh, I call them out, some knocking noises.
I mean, those could be knocks. They sound more like footsteps to me. If you're wondering where you are in this point, nobody's moving above us. Like this is the building we were in.
Right.
So either way, they do sound like they're coming more from like kind of down the hall as opposed to above. Now, another thing to tee this up. If you remember, you made me navigate the fucking underground completely in dark, which by the way is dangerous. I want to say that. It's
You
dangerous.
had a candle.
No.
Oh.
You made me blow out the candle.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, I was literally feeling around down in this basement because it was pitch black. I felt like fucking Jodie Foster in Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I couldn't see a foot in front of me. I was like, I could fall, I could trip, and there you are, yucking it up upstairs. But anyways, that is the precursor to this.
Yeah.
And this is what I hear on the list at the end. You could use this device, remember this? Oh, my fucking timer went on.
Remain off.
Remain off. Why do you want me to remain off? You scared of something? You scared of me?
Am not desk.
You're not. Oh.
That's pretty good.
Pretty good. Will admit, though, the next thing it says after that is
Am not desk.
Is desk.
Yeah.
So it's either saying it's not scared of me, or it's simply pointing out the fact
I am not a desk.
that I am not a desk. But I do think that's a pretty cool response, especially because remain off, keep the lights off. Are you scared of me? Am not desk.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Anyways, good stuff. If you saw something and haven't already dropped it in the comments, let us know below.
And now it's time for one of my favorite segments. Did you know that paranormal enthusiasts and skeptics alike are both capable of possessing artistic talent? Well, if you need proof of that, then we've got some evidence for you. Let's dig into some fan art.
It's very good.
All right, our first one is from Dakush.
Dakush.
That's nice.
This is the most fanciful I've ever seen you look.
I'm wearing my beautiful shorts.
You really are wearing it. And look at your knobby little
I was
knees.
gonna say, they really nailed my knees.
And it looks like you are the happiest abductee of all time. You're just ascending to the heavens or into some sort of alien spaceship. I've never seen a more joyous expression on a face.
Meanwhile, you look dour.
Dour, downtrodden, beat down by life.
Sullen little boy.
It's probably because I'm not floating like you.
Next we've got Ryan Berguz as a little lamb, thanks to Ford the Crabalocker. Now I wasn't, was this a reference to something?
There's a...
I think it's funny that you're a little lamb here.
Yeah, I am a lamb. You could tell that by the orange beanie.
Is that supposed to be me? The goose is wearing glasses, and you're saying,
Bah.
bah.
And you're saying question mark?
Question mark?
I wish that was a duck, because then I could be saying you're not a bird.
Maybe it's supposed to be a duck. It's really artfully done.
It's really well done. This
Look, you've got a little waggy tail, too.
Yeah, you can see the animation of the tail. This looks like something that would be in a children's book. It's well done.
Me.
Thank you very much.
That's what you're doing.
Here's the next one from It's Ghosty X. Okay.
Beautiful.
This is a reference to the Dina Dyke investigation in which I carried you around that house.
Yes.
A very funny little bit. You weigh a lot. It's not that you weigh a lot, it's just that your weight distribution is all
Unwieldy.
unwieldy. Your head's got a lot of weight.
I'm odd shapes.
And you got your little Tony Stark glasses on. Very nice. This is good stuff.
Our final piece is from Jamie May.
Well done.
The depictions of us are very good.
Yeah, I mean, you
Look at you.
That looks exactly like me. And you kind of look more like person of watcher Matt Rial with this like little mustache you got here.
No, that looks like me.
Well, the mustache is a little
Not
too
all
good.
mustache people look the same.
Yeah, but that's too good of a mustache, I think, for what you have to offer.
Shape-wise, it's pretty close to my mustache. You don't know anything about mustaches. I'm not taking your
Hey,
word
man.
for any of this.
You could tell that to the people who watched the last season of Weird Wonderful World. Pretty good mustache.
Oh, see, we finally got him to admit
Except I did not like it.
it. Bring it back.
No.
If you want Ryan to bring back the mustache for 5 years, Just chime off.
I do like the cross-section little Paddington
It's
dollhouse
neat.
we got
You got
going
a
here.
little ghost in the top.
It's funny that there are 4
Is
ghosts.
that a crow?
There's 4 ghosts depicted here, and 3 of them are saying kill Ryan, and then the 4th one is just saying boo.
Yeah, there's a lot of kill Ryan.
Thank you to everybody who submitted all of their art. This has been a nice little trip into
Fart
fan art corner.
I feel bad calling it fart, you know? People work really hard on it.
It's true.
It's fart.
Well, enough of that. Moving right along to my favorite portion of the show, Qua. Now, usually we answer questions from YouTube and Watcher TV, but there's a corner of the internet that we're frankly too elderly and frightened of to interact with, and that's TikTok.
But today, in an effort to span the generational gulf, we've brought in TikTok expert Quinnical for a lightning round of questions specifically catered to the TikTok crowd. It's Quinn's Quick Questions. Quinn, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me, guys. I
QQQ.
appreciate
For
it.
QQQ.
You ready for Quinn's quickfire questions?
We don't know much about TikTok.
Yes.
We don't go there.
It's a scary realm. It's not a safe place to be. So I think that's the smart decision.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
yeah. But I'm here to bring you in. I'm here
appreciate
to
that.
safely guide you. Let's get to it. The first question is, what is your guys' pre-ghost hunting snack or ritual?
We don't really have a ritual.
I take a shower.
Okay.
I would hope.
That seemed like you were trying to make that out there so that people know you shower.
I take a
and that.
shower. Shampoo.
Now I don't think you take a shower.
I
to be honest.
Soap? Yeah, I really
use
don't
soap
believe
as
it.
well, head to toe.
I don't
Sit
believe
this close
this.
to him,
Head to
and
toe, you
I'm
gotta
starting
get
to
every
detect that
inch.
He does not, in fact, shower.
You gotta wash.
You know, I
Okay.
did smell something when I walked in the room. I wasn't sure what it was.
I'm clean.
That's Shane's skin.
What do you do? And sometimes I eat goldfish before a shoot.
Popcorn.
Popcorn?
Goldfish.
Any specific kind of popcorn?
Well, any kind of popcorn that doesn't have any of that funny shit on it, like cheese or like.
You don't like white shit that hurts my soul.
Funny shit like
corn.
cheese.
Funny corn. I don't like funny corn. Anything that's not butter and salt. And then sometimes we'll listen to some pump-up jams.
Gotcha. All right, next question. You guys mentioned US versus UK ghosts in the episode. Which would you say is scarier, US or UK?
Ooh.
These are quick. Now these
dark one.
quick questions.
Okay, right off the top of my head,
Quick
okay.
answers.
Quick fire, we need them
US.
quick.
I'm gonna say US.
US.
U.S.
Okay, US.
We're more demented.
Do you think being underground makes it easier for ghosts to appear or more difficult? Like cell reception, is there ghost reception?
Ooh. I think it makes it easier. The ground has energy.
That's right.
Ryan believes.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if I believe it.
Water is in the ground, and you
it's a
believe
conduit,
ghosts
sure,
can sort
yeah.
of go through the faucet like Casper's
Yeah,
uncles.
yeah, closer to the core of the earth.
Right.
The word pendant was mentioned 3 times on the Ovulus in this episode.
It was.
Any
Sure.
thoughts on that? What does it mean? Quick.
I mean,
quick,
I'm wearing
quick.
a necklace and it has a pendant on it.
That's
Maybe they're like, nice
Maybe they
necklace.
were just like, holy, that's incredible.
They're like, where'd you get it?
yeah, the cobbler was jealous.
They'll never know.
Or the naked man. He just wanted something to
he
wear.
wanted anything to wear.
Yeah,
That's
you
right.
guys didn't offer him anything. That was kind of rude.
I think he prefers to be naked.
Okay.
If I were a ghost, I would also be naked.
I would not go to that place.
All right, when you guys blew out the candles, you said it was incredibly difficult to see. Do you think the ghosts are also struggling with that when there's no lights on?
That's a great question.
Think they're roaming around?
That's a great quick question.
I do always wonder about that. I'm not really sure how ghost vision works, but it seems that they could see just fine in the dark.
Ryan's not
They're like a-
totally sure how anything about ghosts works. So
How ghost works.
how ghosts work. Next question.
Next question. Do you think people's ailments stay with them after they pass, like being colorblind?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes?
I think
So when you use the Busabi, when it's green or red, how do you know which one they're going to do?
Fuck.
Well,
if they can't
well,
see.
we explained from the left and the right, so it is directional.
Oh
so.
man, but you didn't say your left or your right.
But what
yeah.
if you had horrible arthritis or you got shot in the head?
Yeah, you probably would
Okay,
have
what
that.
about
Well,
this?
that would be really
You
unfortunate.
get shot in the head.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then are you shot in the head as a ghost?
I think you
Is
just
it
walk
Sixth
around
Sense
with
rules?
like, I think you walk around with like a big hole in your head, like
That's
in Sixth Sense.
fucked.
Ghosts aren't real. You both have one sentence to defend your point. Ghosts are real. One sentence. Go, quick. Defend against
Because
it.
of the science that I believe in, personally.
Okay. Ghosts aren't real.
I have to prove that ghosts aren't real?
Yes, one
Did you
sentence.
not get it? When
Why
I did
didn't you? That wasn't a very compelling argument.
One sentence,
It's
quick.
not.
If they are real, then why don't we see them every day on all of our little camera rolls?
He's got a point.
That was a great point. All right, Shane, you mentioned 2 cockatiels you had growing up. Which did you like more, Sugar or Abby?
Abby.
Why?
The taste?
Abby, no, I didn't eat the cockatiels. Abby was mean. And he could say pretty bird. Sugar could not speak.
Ryan, in the episode, Peter was the ghost of a child who was too young to play with other kids.
Yes.
Do you think he didn't show himself to you because you're the same height as the kids?
Oh!
Didn't let him play?
It's possible. It's actually a pretty good point. That's maybe why.
Yeah, he was intimidated.
Or
Bullies.
I would think, though, since I am the same height, that they would think I am a kid. and that maybe. Oh wait,
But the
they
kids
didn't-
neglected him.
Yeah, but what if this is the opportunity? No, I guess I see
Oh,
what
to
you're saying.
haunt
Yeah,
you, maybe.
Yeah, I was saying maybe this is a way for him to rewrite history. But yeah, if the kids were mean to him, then that.
You're
would make
probably
sense.
taller than a little boy.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, Dan. Thanks
You're
for the
average height.
Thanks for the probably.
What's it like getting all your ghost hunting items through TSA?
Difficult sometimes. Sometimes people it will get flagged, and then they'll be like, "What's this?" And I'll be like, "I use that to find dead people."
We did run into that problem in the UK. They had a lot of questions. They seemed more interested than suspicious, so it was kind of fun to explain
This
to them.
just speaks to dead people.
Yes.
That's it.
Specifically, there was a woman who was looking through because I was carrying one of them, and she was like, "So you seen a ghost?" And I was like, "No, I'm the skeptic." And I was like, "He believes." And I pointed over to Ryan, who was over, at the other station.
And I went, "Woohoo!"
And she kind of narrowed her eyes and she said, "So you're just there for the banter?" And I was like, "Yeah, basically." I was like, "You've nailed the show."
She pretty much nailed the show in like 2 seconds.
Yeah, you got it locked?
Yeah.
All right, and my final question for Shane. How much does Big Ghost pay you to pretend to be a skeptic?
I don't know who you've been talking to. I have no comment.
The only solution here is Big Ghost.
I agree.
Yeah.
Finally, someone says it.
They're giving you your ghoul bucks.
Let's cut this segment. Can we cut this whole segment?
No, we can't. Well, thank you for joining us here for Quinn's Quickfire Questions. We
Thank you
appreciate
very much
it.
for having me, guys.
We tried our best.
Do you feel more versed in the TikTok verse?
Yeah, I'm ready to get back on there.
Where can we find you on TikTok?
Yes, you can find me at @Quinnicle or @Quinnicle Show on TikTok and Instagram.
There you go.
There it is.
Thank you, guys. I love you. Smoochies. Hi.
Q&A time, baby. Some call it. Ryan is not here, so we have Lizzie Lockard, our producer, joining us in Ryan's stead, and what a treat. Lizzie, you work on this show, so you'll have a lot to say.
We'll see about that.
We're gonna hop right in. First question is from S. Wellbergen. Me and my friend visited these underground vaults right after your show in Glasgow.
So did we.
Yeah, that's true. We did Glasgow, and then we were over there a day or two later.
Yeah.
And the tour that they give is incredibly interesting. Question for Debrief. What was your very first thoughts when stepping onto the streets of Edinburgh? And will you consider going back for some more investigations like the Greyfriars Kirkyard Cemetery? Is that the one we went to?
I don't know.
There's a
maybe.
part that is closed off for the public called the Covenanters Prison, and there's said that many souls still roam there, and allegedly there's poltergeist activity.
That'd be cool. We would love to do a graveyard. It's hard to do outside locations, though. There's a lot of interference.
Yeah, that's true. Edinburgh was
Gorgeous.
incredible. I literally took my breath away because we took a train there from Glasgow.
So many little sheep.
So many little sheep.
Lambs bouncing everywhere.
And the train station, you get like on an escalator that takes you up to the street level.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember just the sort of city unfolding to my eyes and just being like, this is stunning.
Yeah.
It was beautiful.
We were right near the Royal Mile. So
Which I think is like touristy, but who cares?
for a reason.
In a town that's hundreds of, it's like
It was
ancient.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
We walked down to the water. We bought pipes.
We bought pipes. It was a big pipe trip.
to-
We don't suggest you buy pipes, but
Smoking is bad. We
when
bought
in
them to
Scotland,
look at.
buy a little pipe. No, I went up and smoked that pipe and watched the sunset.
It was lovely. It was a beautiful city. We'd love to go back.
And it was, I think, every person we talked to there was talking about how unseasonably temperate it was.
Yes.
It was like sunny and there was like a nice breeze.
We were there
It
at
was
a great
gorgeous.
time.
Yeah.
Absolutely stunning. So yeah, please feel free to send over any more Scottish haunts because we would love.
We could surely do a
Love
whole
excuse.
season in Scotland.
This next question we have is from V and their little sister.
Oh.
Does the obelisk, is that spelling? Yes. Have cuss words? No. Unfortunately.
Can we jailbreak that thing? Can we get some cuss words in there?
I wish you could. So it comes with like a set dictionary that you can turn it to. I mean, because it has the other mode as well where it's just like syllables, right? Am I making that up? Am I making
No,
that up?
there is a, we never use the like, is it phonetic mode?
Yeah, so
where it's
you
like,
might stumble upon there. If you could add one word, what would it be? Or a few. Give us a sample. Give us a little sample platter.
Piss.
I don't know why I said to that.
Butthole. Rim. That's not an overtly sexual word, you know? So that may be in there. And if we ever, I swear to God, if we ever get that on the show, I'm gonna celebrate.
Die.
No, but I would like all the curse words to be in there.
I want Lizzie to be in there. Mark gets a lot of attention because Mark is in there. And you know, maybe they want to say something to me, but they can't.
Or if anyone knows how to do computer, maybe you can program it into the machine for us.
Tell us how.
Next question from Liam Tuxford. For the debrief, as a tall person myself who, when visiting the vaults, hit my head multiple times like an idiot, I'm wondering how many times Shane hit his head with the helmet on. I don't actually think that I hit my head at this location.
Really?
I think that tends to happen at locations where there may be one door that's like lower than the rest, but this place was so constantly
cavernous
that I was very, very aware of it the whole time.
Crawling into holes and stuff though. You didn't like knock it on anything?
No, I don't think so. I got shit all over my back, but
yeah, it was disgusting.
yeah,
honestly.
Whatever. Who cares?
Next question. This one was dropped in the comments by Saucy Harold. They say, Shane, you keep asking Ryan to give you scary challenges on your solo investigations, but you yourself have said many, many times that these places don't scare you. What exactly do you want him to challenge you to do? Eat the meat off of an avocado pit? What do you want? Do you want to eat meat off an avocado? Oh, spooky.
No.
Spooky stuff. Eat that avocado like an apple. That's gonna be in season 4. Stay tuned.
I can do that with a lot of things, but not avocado. The skin is too tough. I know that the challenges aren't going to scare me. I just want them to be less stupid.
You got a lot of shame for your T-Rex.
I don't care. In that moment, I was like, I am not going to walk around this museum. I've said this before earlier in the season. There's something about the difference between choosing to be a dumb little goofball and having someone be like, you there, do a dumb little bit, you know?
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't want to walk around and be a dinosaur. This isn't clown class.
That's true. This is ghost hunting.
This is ghost hunting, bitch. So granted, I don't know that there's a challenge that would actually scare me, but I want them to be challenges that feel like they are capable of scaring someone or that feel
involve ghost hunting?
More closely related to ghost hunting.
That's fair. As for the gamify stuff, I love that. I would like to do more of that next season.
All right, our next question is from Caitlin Pecora. Caitlin asks, is there any place you've ghost busted, including any on Unsolved, that you would like to go back to? We do get this question a fair amount, and
I know what you're gonna say.
Ryan's not here, so I can say this without him jumping down my throat.
I will jump down your throat.
I'd like to go back to the Island of the Dolls. I think we owe it to ourselves.
I really hate it.
I think we owe it to our viewing audience.
So many spiders! So many spiders! All you guys ever talk about is how many spiders there were there.
You would not believe how many spiders were there.
I hate spiders.
Well, you could wear gloves and like one of those like mosquito.
I'd get a hazmat suit.
You'd be fine. I would love to go back there. I don't love going back to places we've been to somewhat recently. Stuff from earlier in Unsolved makes sense because we didn't really investigate it very thoroughly. You know, we didn't have any like tools.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Just a lot of pizzazz.
Pizzazz, baby. Next question is from Joe Martin.
Joe.
Have you ever wondered if ghosts just continue to live normal lives and sleep routines? Could places where they haunt be more active from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. because that's when normal people are awake? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I haven't wondered that. The question seems to be, have I wondered that?
Ryan would probably do like.
What would he do?
That's actually a pretty good idea. And then you'd probably tease something that we have coming up.
Ryan will actually be answering that very question firsthand because coming up shortly after Ghost Files wraps this season, we've got Ghost Files Alone, which is a 3-part series in which Ryan goes to a haunted location by himself for 24 hours. No crew, nobody.
Just him.
Just him. And he's gonna be there during the daytime. I talked to him a little bit about this. I was like, I've always suspected that places may be even scarier during the daytime if you're there alone, because that's unnerving.
Yeah.
And he said it was not great.
Yeah.
He did not like it.
I watched the first episode of it, left some notes. It's pretty fun. Guys, I'm excited for you to be able to watch it, so. Moving on. Oh, Franny Boo asks.
Is Ol part of it?
No. Do you run through locations during the day or go straight into them for the first time at night? No, we don't go through them during the day. We have a scout crew, which is typically Mark, and then Carter, and then whoever's there for PAing, and myself. We scout it out, get a lay of the land, get some B-roll of things, and then the next day around 2 p.m. we'll schedule out what the shoot night looks like, and then once it gets dark, we roll up to film. So Ryan and Shane don't ever, really anybody. Sometimes we'll get there a little early for the scout when the sun is just setting.
It also depends on the time of year, you know. If it's the summertime, sun ain't setting for a bit, we'll be there and usually drink sunset, see it a little bit in some nice light. Like I remember when we rolled up to St. Ignatius, it was still light out.
It was just barely starting to get dark.
Alcatraz obviously was light when we got there.
Yeah, that was wild.
I remember watching the sunset from the cafeteria.
The cafeteria? What
The
cafeteria?
Alcatraz cafeteria, or the mess hall, whatever you want to call it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, when we were setting up, that's where we staged all our equipment.
Yeah.
I was watching through the bars as the sun set.
Nice. It was good views for a prison.
Last but not least, Carlisle wants to know, would you ever come back over to Scotland to hunt Nessie? A Ghost Files and Mystery Files crossover. It was so amazing meeting you in Glasgow. Carlisle, thank you for coming out to the show.
Thanks, Carlisle.
Carlisle, a fan from way back, has sent us many wonderful illustrations.
Oh, we love Carlisle.
We would love to go back.
Yes.
I think
we
that's
love
abundantly
Scotland.
clear. We love Scotland. I would like to see more of it.
Yeah.
It would be cool to do a Nessie episode, very much so.
My question is Nessie still alive?
Still chugging.
Because would that even be a Ghost Files show? Like Ghost Nessie would be good. We need to get like a cryptid.
I think it would be Mystery Files. We've done cryptids on Mystery Files. We've never gone into the field for Mystery Files, but it seems like it would be a fun evolution for the IP.
Yeah, you know, we like to travel. If you caught Nessie dead or alive, what would you do?
Well, if I caught
You
her
could take
alive,
a big
if I
fish
caught her
pic.
alive, I'd kill her so that she would be dead. Then I'd hang her up like Jaws.
Nice.
I'd pose next to her.
Nice.
The man who killed the beast.
Cool. What would you want that headline to say? Man who kills the beast?
The man who killed our beast.
Oh, well, we'd love to get back, you know?
Get back.
Get back.
Alrighty, part 2, let's hop into these YouTube questions. Now, we did get this question a lot, but at Faye Valentine by 9key writes, it's by 9QI.
Bananki.
Yo, dudes, please explain the face over Shane's shoulder on the left side of the screen at 4534. This face moves. I have the screenshots. Please explain. Best wishes and lots of love. Let's go ahead and look at that clip.
So that's where I'm beginning things. I'm gonna read Ryan's letter in here, but I've been told before I went in here that I have to light this candle.
That's incredible.
Yeah, I didn't realize they were even there. So the vault's obviously underground.
Underground, correct.
In there. So there was a site rep who would sort of walk us down the stairs to do our solos.
That's right.
And then I walked away, and I was chatting with them. I was having a great time.
Yeah.
And then apparently they were still in the background, sort of over by the stairs, making sure I was all right.
Yeah, that's very funny.
Yeah.
It's a funny little face. I could see how that would be unnerving, though, because I would be like, what the fuck is that face?
I wish more ghosts were like that. Just little like faces in the background being like...
He looked like if an orb was a real thing, that's what it would look like.
Yeah,
just a floating little face. Just in the background. One more thing on that too. Just want to point out, that is the beginning of Shane's solo. So they weren't down there with us during our actual solo. Like Shane said, they were just ushering him down there.
Yeah.
To make sure that
went
he didn't
walk back
crack
up
his
the stairs.
head or something like
That's
that.
right.
Or, you know, do anything to the site that would be
Disrespectful, destructive.
Destructive, more so.
Immoral. But I behaved.
You did.
Okay, our next question is from Jotune1. They ask, when traveling to a different location, has there ever been a time when airport security has made it difficult to cross the border, or funny incidents while going anywhere with the piles of ghost and camera gear you guys own, ghost equipment and camera gear? Okay, love you guys, smiley face. On this trip in particular, we had a hell of a time at Heathrow Airport.
We did.
Where they had a lot of questions about the ghost gear in our bags.
Yeah, well, you know, that happens every now and then. We do have like our little pelican cases that we carry around.
This is the first time that I've had to like open the ghost thing though and show them everything and tell them that I was a ghost hunter.
That's right.
Yeah, we were standing in Heathrow for a good, at the security for like 30 to 45 minutes.
Yeah, as they kind of meticulously unpacked, questioned us about each item of ghost hunting gear and then put back into the case.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, not great to question me about ghost hunting gear. I usually just say, I don't know. They were like, so this is ghost hunting? I was like, yeah. They were like, you're a ghost hunter? And I was like, I mean, technically. I was like, he has all the answers for you, and Ryan was over there.
Already through security.
And then the lady at security said, so you just go along as a skeptic? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, what, for banter? And I was like, that's the show!
She did nail down. It was
very funny.
Show. She read you for filth in about 2 seconds.
Yeah.
To be fair, the case does very bluntly say on the front of it,
Ghost gear.
Ghost gear.
Yeah. In the US, I don't think I've ever been stopped.
And it's written in like my handwriting on just like a Sharpie, a silver Sharpie, and it's ghost gear.
And let's be clear, it looks like the makings of a bomb. It looks like we're transporting bombs.
It does, it does.
We are not.
No, we aren't. I mean,
we've never done, you don't have, is there such a thing as a ghost bomb?
This question is from @TaylorKG1IG. Do you think combining tools/techniques could be beneficial? For example, could you use the SLS cam with the Busabi to not only get feedback if a light goes off, but it could maybe show a figure approaching it from the SLS? We do this all the time,
lovely,
actually.
A remix.
Sometimes we use the SLS with the REM pod. Oftentimes, one of the things I like to do is use the mag light with the REM pod because they're both kind of like touch-based devices.
You're an artist.
I'm an artist out there, just my paint strokes. It's beautiful.
It's beautiful. Is there a combo you haven't done but you want to do? Estes plus
I was just thinking
SLS?
That would make
SLStis?
SLStis. I think we have done that, actually.
Have we?
I don't know. We'll figure things out. One time we did Estes and hide and seek. That was pretty fun.
I liked that. Our next submission, this is less of a question and more of a request. This is from Skinned Candy 1194, and they say, Watcher, please create a penalty system for failed/unsatisfactory challenges. I feel like there'd be a lot of penalties.
On you in particular?
Yeah. For me, unsatisfactory. I mean, I technically did, there maybe have been a handful this season where I was like, I'm not doing that. I followed the letter and not the spirit.
Sure. What would the punishment for me be? I mean, the punishment for me would be, actually the punishment for both of us would be to just do the challenge.
It's sort of already there, yeah.
But I guess if we don't do them after the fact, I don't know. What would be, something happened to us when we returned to Ghost Files HQ?
A paddling.
Like a spanking? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a spanking?
Spanking next season. Brings a new meaning to Debrief. Welcome
it's
to
time
Ghost
for
Files
Ghost Files Debrief. Whoop! Whack! Until our ass is just a hue of red. Like a fucking clown's nose.
Okay, our next one.
This question is from @EmmaJane50.
What if in the show we're just leaned over and still answering questions, we're just getting paddled?
Yeah, this question is from... Single tear comes down my face. Emma wants to know if you could watch 2 ghosts you've encountered in a cage fight. Which ones would it be and why? Either in their human or ghost forms. They have to be ones we've encountered. That's important to note. And they did say ghost, so Goat Man is out, Mothman is out, Bigfoot's out, no cryptids.
Is Devil Baby a ghost?
That's a good question. No, I think he would be considered more a demon, a demon. You know. So a ghost.
Big Dick Tom.
Big Dick Tom.
Big Dick Tom and who's another good one?
Nighttime Dan would be, no, actually, you know what? Charles Hole, just to see him get his ass kicked again.
Yeah.
Big Dick Tom, just giving Charles Hole the business.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Though, operating from what would be the funniest visually, like if this was like a video game, like an arcade fighter, like Street Fighter, and there was like the characters, which ones would look the funniest on the screen? Probably Big Dick Tom and Sarah Winchester.
Yeah.
Just her in a long black dress. just doing roundhouse kicks and
Yeah.
stuff like that. That'd be
If we
awesome.
could incorporate all entities, then I think I would want to do like a tag team.
Yeah.
Of like Devil Baby and Nighttime Dan.
Yeah.
Because they're from the same place. They're from Whole House, right?
Yeah.
And then like Apple Tater and Spaghetti. I don't know what those guys look like.
No.
Though. Up next, Cross Emily writes, odd question, but did you? Oh, okay. Odd question, but did you experience any smells? Lavender, whiskey. When we went on Vault Tour, we were told if we smelled lavender, it was two nice old ladies. But we must tell the guide if we smelled whiskey, as it's bad ghost. They spelled.
It was phonetically written that way.
Yeah, they
by
spelled
the way.
did ya. So
Yeah.
I assumed they were maybe Scottish.
Unless, of course, this is the
Apologies
little
if that's
girl
not
from
the
Brave.
case.
writing us a question.
Apology. If you had the chance to change your fate, would you? Remember her?
I wouldn't. Did you experience any tiny smell?
No.
Many smells. Not
Did you
tiny.
just fart?
No. See?
Okay. Oh, I'm getting a smell right now.
No, see? Look.
Sure, yeah. Try your
look.
best to recreate
No, watch.
it.
Listen.
Oh, yeah.
Quiet,
I'm sorry,
quiet.
Ryan. I don't hear
Be
anything.
quiet. Be quiet.
No,
Be quiet. Be quiet. Oh shit!
No,
Hold on.
that's not
Hold
what
on.
I
Let me
heard.
do it again. God damn
Anyway.
it! No, it was going while you were talking.
I
would admit to it.
Another egg salad sandwich.
I would admit to it. I would admit.
No, I didn't smell anything. Did you
Very-
smell anything?
Very squeaky chair.
Did you smell anything?
No, I didn't.
No.
Nothing when we were there. I mean, it smelled like a cave.
Yep.
Our last question comes from @JesseMitchell4683 in honor of the naked man. What would you be willing to buy in exchange for the only clothes you had if you then had to be naked forever? What would I be willing to buy in exchange for the only clothes I had and I had to be naked forever? So basically, this is me exchanging some sort of good for me being naked forever, essentially.
Yeah.
I mean, like an unlimited ticket to all theme parks in the world, but then the irony of that would be I would never be admitted into said theme parks because I'd be naked.
Yeah, they wouldn't let you do that.
Then again, there was a record in Guinness for the most people to ride a roller coaster naked. It was set in the UK at Blackpool Pleasure Beach.
Pleasure Beach, huh?
No, but not that kind of pleasure. It was like 300 people or something.
Whoa.
And they were all standing in line for the roller coaster in robes.
Oh, and then they got on and
And
took
they
the
got
robes
on and
off?
took the robes off.
That's cool. That's something I didn't know about.
So I could go there.
Did you talk about that on your little podcast?
I did.
Did you really?
I did. That's why I know it.
I would buy, I guess I would, so I can have anything I want.
Yeah.
I guess I'd get one of those super yachts and then I'd sell it and I'd buy more clothes.
Well, it's kind of like destroying the spirit of the question.
Yeah.
Well, that wraps up this investigation. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Ghost Files and Ghost Files Debrief. We've only got one episode left this season, so stay tuned.
And for more behind the scenes content, head on over to watchertv.com or hop on our app.
That's right. Watcher TV is where you can check out both the full episode of this week's Road Files, which is a little behind the scenes of Ghost Files.
In Edinburgh. Ooh, we
as
had a
well
good
as
time
the we did have a good time.
Yeah.
As well as the evidence room where you can watch a master compilation of all the incredible stuff we captured at the Blair Street Underground Vaults, all the stuff unaired and aired, all the evidence.
You got any more you want to say? And if you're not already a Watcher TV member, join the Boo Crew by using the discount code in the description to shave a little off that yearly subscription. Ow! See you next time.
I don't think I have any marks anymore, but they were on me for a few weeks. They were all up on my hand, they were on my finger, they were on my arm. They were everywhere. They were everywhere.